This next speaker will change your life if you listen to him. Because let me tell you, when you have a young person come up to you, he showed me a picture that he and I took 3.5 years ago. He said, I didn't even know we took it, right? I'm shaking his hand. We're giving him recognition. He had 5 people in his RevShare team 3.5 years ago. Now, he's my brother from another mother. If you see him, you'll probably think we're twins, just so you know. Some people call him Gene, but you might not tell us apart. Mr. AJ Mida! Woo! Boricua, Puerto Rican.
Thanks, Gene. I appreciate it. Yeah, Gene is definitely family. Man, I am so excited to be here. Who else is excited to be here today? Man, like I'm so excited. I am more excited about this opportunity today because of this event than I've ever been in the last 4.5 years I've been with the company. And what a journey it's been. I made a mistake today. I think I may have drank a little bit too much caffeine with the excitement that I'm experiencing right now. So if I pass out on the stage, just pull me off. Don't make it a big deal. And just keep going because I know we got some other great speakers coming up. But I'm just so thankful for all the leaders and this company. Hello? Yeah, that's him. Are you serious? It can't be. Yeah, this Friday? Okay. I'll be there. What if your doctor called you today and said that you had 1 week left to live? How would that feel? Your mind would probably start racing, your palms would get sweaty, your breath would get short. Images would start flashing through your mind of the people you love, your children, your spouse, your husband, your wife, your family, your parents. And right before you break down into tears, the doctor says, but I do have some good news. If you just show up to my office every single Friday from 12 to 3 for the next 3 to 5 years, there's a treatment and it'll actually cure you. But if you miss one day, you'll die. Would you ever miss a Friday? No. And I'm here to tell you today that revenue share is the cure for your dream life. And if you're not putting in the work and you've been with this company for a while, and if you're new, good for you, start putting the work now. But if you're not putting in the work, your dream life is dying and you don't even know it yet. And I'm going to give you that cure today. I'm going to share that cure with you today. And it really just takes a handful of hours a week at first. Time block it, commit to it, and never miss a Friday. Never miss a Friday. All right, so I got into real estate in 2013, so it's been about 9 years. And I got into real estate because I was looking for the cure to get out of the rat race. And what I wanted freedom. I wanted financial freedom. I wanted time freedom. I wanted location freedom. Why did you get into real estate? Write it down, why. There's a reason. You may have forgot what it even was, but connect with that. What was your reason? And I got started 2013, sold one house my first 6 months. I realized I did not know what I was doing, and I was failing. And I heard about this real estate conference in July in Las Vegas, so I booked a ticket, booked the flight. I show up. I put it on a credit card. I couldn't afford to be there. And I'm sitting in the crowd like all of you are right now. And I'm sitting there and I'm so excited and I'm inspired and I'm motivated and I'm taking all these notes. And I sit down and, most conferences, we got a lot of space here, but most you're they're like a sardine. So I'm kind of, a bigger guy. I'm sitting there. I cross my legs and I notice I have a hole in my dress shoe. And what I thought during that moment was, after I thought, did that person next to me just see I have a hole in my shoe? Because that's kind of embarrassing. I was like, how did I get here? How did I get here? And why is this time going to be different? You see, I've been to the personal development conferences in the past. I read the books. I watch the videos. I've been to the classes. I knew what I should have been doing. I just wasn't doing it. So why was now going to be different? And it just hit me, thinking about my wife back home, at the time she was working as an ICU nurse, working 16-hour days, working midnights. Sometimes before work she would cry because that work is so hard. And people are literally dying. And I wanted a better life for her and for us. So it just hit me like a ton of bricks. I thought to myself, if not now, then when? And in my core, I felt it, that this was the time. The time was now. And this could be your moment to decide. So fast forward a little bit. I came back from that conference, only sold 6 houses the first year, got Rookie of the Year somehow, so that was pretty cool. I threw away the trophy a long time ago. But the next year, by the end of that year, I had over 20 listings on the market, so I picked up the momentum because I put in the work. I treated it like a professional. I treated it like a business. I wasn't dabbling anymore. And that second year, I sold 36 houses, and I'm proud to report now I got some brand new Cole Haans on. So it's good. It's good. But after I was able to, take a step back and get a little breathing room where I wasn't treading water anymore, I got a chance to reflect and think, is what I'm doing today getting me any closer to my goal of freedom? And the answer was no. So I had a choice. And at the time, even then, I recognized that I needed a residual income. Without residual income, you'll always be trading hours for dollars. But I didn't know about eXp even at that point. So when it was presented to me, this clear path, I knew which way I was going because I saw the opportunity. So I want to share with you the tale of two mountains. I think we can all agree that climbing mountains is hard. It takes perseverance, commitment, dedication. I mean, if I go on a hike for 2 hours, I'm pretty tired. Gene, Submarine Hill in Puerto Rico, you know what that's like. You get whipped after a little bit. So climbing a mountain, it's hard. We can all agree. But what's so cool about life is that we get to choose our hard wisely. Because don't be mistaken, this life's going to be hard regardless of the path you take. So just choose your hard. And it's funny, when we get into real estate, we're like, okay, we're in real estate now, and we see this mountain in front of us, and we just start climbing. We just start climbing the mountain, and we never think, what's at the top of the mountain? What does that look like? What's there? What's the view going to be like when I get there? We just start climbing this mountain, climbing this mountain, climbing this mountain. And I want you all to just take a step back with me for a minute as I share the tale of two mountains with you. This is my wife and I in Avalanche Lake in Montana. Beautiful, awesome hike. We saw grizzly bears come down the mountain right after this picture was taken. But the first mountain is what I want to go with you on this journey first with. So you show up, just imagine this with me, go on this journey. And I got to tell you right now, these are magical mountains. Both are magical. So you show up, it's early, the sun's rising, and you get there, and it's quiet, you're alone, which you're kind of excited about that for a little while. You got some peace and quiet, and you're walking along. At first, it's a gradual climb, you're enjoying it, it's new, it's exciting. You like it, and you're like, I can do this is pretty cool. And then after a while, you start to realize, like, wow, this is kind of lonely. This is hard. And you think about taking a break to kind of catch your breath and relax. But then you think, well, if I stop, I may never get to the end destination in time. So I have to just keep going. And you get to the top, and you look out at the view, and it hits you. In one instant, you can see your past, your present, and your future. And what you see are potentially strained relationships with your family, strained relationships with your children, because you were always climbing. You aren't very present with your family because you're always thinking about the climb. And you're like, man, like I'm at the top. And by this mountain standard, you are successful. But as you take a breath and you're like, wow, what do I do now? You look up and you realize that you're just right here. And there's another peak, and another peak, and you have to keep going. Year after year after year, you just have to keep climbing. And that's the traditional real estate model. At eXp, we have mountain number 2. Now this one's a little different. So the day starts out the same. It's a nice day. It's warm. The sun's rising. You're like, okay, this is a good day for a hike. And you're in the middle of nowhere, and this mountain actually looks a little bit scarier. It looks a little bigger. You're like, man, this might not be the mountain I want to climb. This looks a little scary. Might get hurt. But what you see in the distance is a group of people, and you're like, wow, that's really weird because I'm in the middle of nowhere, and there's people there. And as you get closer, you realize that it's your friends. It's people in this room with you right now, like Brent, Gene. And they're waiting for you, and you're like, what are you guys doing here? Like, this is crazy. And they say to you, they say, we actually just got down from climbing the mountain, and we're here to help you. We're your guides because we've already been where you want to go. And I'm like, this is pretty cool. Thank you, guys. You didn't have to do that, but I really appreciate it. So we start climbing, and what I notice is the pace is fast, but it feels easy and effortlessly. It feels easy. And there's a lot of time to take breaks and enjoy the view and enjoy the journey because they know where they're going. You just follow them. So you get get focused on having fun. And you rest, and you finally get to the top. And it's been 5 years, just like the other mountain, but you have more energy than when you started. You're more excited. And you're like, this is the best mountain ever. And, and you look out at the view, and you're like, just like before, you see your past, present, future. And what you look at is your freedom. You look at your dream house, your dream car, your dream vacations. You're spending as much time with whoever you want, whenever you want, doing the things that you want. And the best part about it is your family magically appears there. At this point, you're crying tears of joy. And they're running up to you, and they're crying too, and they're just hugging you, saying, thank you so much for the sacrifices you made to get here, for the fears you had to face. And it's cool that you got the dream house and the dream car and all that, but what they're most excited about is that they have your time. They have your full attention. That's what this is about, guys. So you just got to choose your mountain on this. And the cool thing about it is you can build a massive real estate sales business like so many of the speakers have and do this. So that's pretty cool. So this is the trail map. You guys, this is not new information. Make your top 100 list. Think of every agent you know. Write them all down. This is your list of prospects to start calling. Find a running partner. This is your accountability partner. When you make your list, set a date of when you're going to get through it. If you have 100 names, it shouldn't take you more than a month. That's only 25 a week to call. You could do it in a week, I'm sure. Then you choose your running pace. Choose your hiking pace. I always tell my team I run with the runners, I jog with the joggers, I walk with the walkers. But if you're just going to sit there, I'm going to pass you up because there's people that we need to help. But if you're walking, I'll still walk with you. So is it going to be a 2-10-40? That's 2 a week, 2 day, 10 a week, 40 a month. That's like sprinting at this opportunity, which is crazy. I used to call expireds 150 conversations a week to stay in the rat race. Maybe you're a jogger, 1-5-20. Maybe you're a walker. You just want, an extra $1,000 a month in rev share. Call one a week, one every couple of weeks. Whatever your pace is, that's fine. Those are your goals, and we want to help you achieve them. So pick any day. Make that your freedom day. Do not miss one because your dream life may just die if you do. But some of you still may not do it. You may know what you need to do, just like I did when I was in Las Vegas at that conference. I knew what to do, but I wasn't doing it. And the reason was, like Sean covered, is... Oh, wrong button. Is logic makes you think, emotion makes you act. So I want you to get into your heart a little bit. So why don't you do it? You don't have the time. Okay, that's fair. Fear of rejection, that's a real thing. Lack of belief. I've had all three of those things in my mind before. Let's talk about it. Don't have the time? You have the time because we all have the same amount of time. We've seen people on stage selling hundreds of homes a year, and they're doing this. We all have the time. You don't have a time problem, you have a priority problem. Fear of rejection, it's your ego. I learned this from Brent. When you're afraid of rejection, it's because your ego is trying to protect you and keep you safe. You don't want people to think less of you. You just got to get over that, and you get over that by having a big why. And lack of belief, if you leave here and you don't fully believe in this opportunity, we may not be able to help you, because this is the best event I've ever been to. So the bigger reason is probably that you lack belief in yourself. And I've been there. And that may not change this week, but when you start investing in yourself through personal development, reading the books, going to the conferences, all that, over time you can really do it. So you can keep your reasons or you can trade them for results, but you can't have both. So go from your head to your heart. I love when Brent says that. It's such a great visual. You gotta feel this in your core. You gotta get goosebumps when you're thinking about what your future life looks like. So visualize your success. This is actually me 3 years ago in Puerto Vallarta at another event like this, and there I only had 167 agents. And I had all those doubts, like, is this gonna pay off for me? Can I do it? I'm only 30 years old at the time. I've only been in real estate for 4 years. I'm not a coach, I'm not an influencer. I have nothing that would appear to really help me with this other than faith, hope, and a strong work ethic and a big why. So I ask you to just suspend your disbelief for a moment about what you can really do with this opportunity. Can you imagine what it would feel like to have over 3,700 agents in your organization and making $163,000 a month? Because that's what I made in RevShare this month. Thank you. What would that do for you? What would that do for the people you love? Could you help take some financial burden off of yourself and off of others? So I want to share with you how it would feel for me. And I only share this because I hope that my story inspires you, because my story is your story if you choose it. So the average day for me at this point, we tried for a long time to have kids, and this is my son, Breck. And thank you. Thank you. So most days he's my alarm clock. He wakes me up around 6:30, 7 o'clock. My wife's been up night nursing him, so I get him in the morning. And he's, doing baby talk in the crib. I go in his room, his little head's poking over the crib, and it's the cutest thing ever. Those of you that have kids understand. And I pick him up, and I get those little tired, sleepy hugs. And I bring him back to bed and just play with him for 10, 15 minutes, just being fully present. I don't feel rushed because I actually have nowhere to go. Because of this opportunity, thanks to Glenn Sanford, I have freedom. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. After that, my wife and I, after that, I actually grabbed some cold brew because I need my caffeine. Not as much as today, but I need some caffeine. And I read, I watch YouTube video, something inspiring. I track my net worth now. I look at my investments. I actually discovered it's more fun to do when you're not broke. So it's become like a new favorite hobby of mine. After that, we get in the golf cart with our dog Luna to take her for a little walk, and we got amazing views of the Caribbean because we live in Puerto Rico now. And we might see Susan Frederick on her morning walk. We might see Brent Gove and Kathy coming up from the beach. We might see Gene on his way to go golfing. And that's like real. That's like normal. And these relationships that you build through this company are unbelievable. Like we're all there. We're family. We're celebrating each other. We're encouraging each other. It's just amazing. Big picture. We took a year trip around the U.S. in an RV. As soon as we hit our freedom number, which was 500 agents, we were making $25,000 a month. 2 months later, we sold our house in Charlotte, traveled the country for a year, went to amazing places. That's our RV. If you want to check out our travels, we have a YouTube channel. It's old. We don't update it anymore, but it's called One Life Living, and you should be able to find it and see our adventures. It's pretty cool. We went to Sonoma and Napa, and Brent, after an eXp presentation, stopped by, and we got to show him our RV, and he took us out to dinner. Thank you, Brent. That was very generous of you. We got to go whale watching in the Pacific Northwest, all through California. Breckenridge, Colorado, we were there for 3 months. I snowboarded 50 days out of the 90 I was there, only on the best days. It was amazing. Before that, my best snowboarding was in North Carolina, and if you've been in North Carolina, it's not good snowboarding or skiing. So this was a true blessing. And all of this was on my vision board before I even joined eXp. All right, so my mom. So last summer, we got to actually go back to Michigan, and we had our baby there because that's where all our family is. And we rented a house in this place called downtown Rochester that we love, and we definitely needed our own space, so we got our own place. And it was so cool to share that with them. But my mom, she's been saying how she's been very unhappy where she was living. So I was like, Mom, and this was a big stretch for me at the time, but I was like, I think I can actually buy you a house and help you move if that's something you want to do. So she's like, okay, are you sure? Like, are you sure? Are you sure? I'm like, yeah, I'm sure. So we find our house, we go under contract, and the whole time she's like, are you sure like this is going to work out? What if it doesn't pass inspection? It's not a septic, so she's nervous about the septic. She's like, what if it doesn't appraise? What if it doesn't appraise? Like, then you can't go out of pocket money. Like, like good things like this don't happen to me. And so we go to the house. Abby hadn't seen it yet, so we take Abby, we take Breck, and we're doing a tour, and my sister is also with eXp, and she was our real estate agent on the deal, so she got to be there for this little tour that we're doing, and my mom thought we were just showing Abby the house. So we're walking around, Abby's videotaping, my mom's giving the tour, and it's so fun and so cute to watch how excited she is and nervous at the same time. And we get to the living room after about a 7-minute tour, and I say, Mom, I was like, I'm sorry, but I don't think we can close on June 20th. We were supposed to close on June 20th because she thought I was getting a mortgage and we still needed an appraisal, but we were actually closing a little bit early because I paid cash. Yeah. And there's only 2 people in my life that have seen what I'm about to show you, other than the people that were there that day. This is what that looked like.
Really pretty.
I'm not sure if we're going to close on the 20th or not.
Not bad.
Already.
No,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
you're lying. You are lying. You're lying up a storm. This is my house and the furniture's getting delivered on the 6th. No. Are you serious? Oh my God. Did you know?
Oh yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh. Oh my God.
Oh.
Are you kidding me? Oh my God. Are you kidding me?
Aw.
So I was raised pretty, I'd say lower middle class. My mom's a single mom. She's on Social Security, disability, and that's how I grew up. We always had everything we needed, but the financial stress was a real thing growing up. Like, it was very present. I know the problems that come from that. So now that she doesn't have a mortgage, the financial burden is a little bit lifted off her shoulders. This is bigger than us. This is about also who we can impact. So I'm wrapping up here. Anything's possible, guys. This yacht we're about to be on in about 3 hours, 25 of our eXp friends and partners. Super excited for that. It's like jet skis. Like, it's going to be a lot of fun. I put on my vision board last year that I wanted to have more surreal experiences. And I don't know about you guys, but that's going to be a surreal experience for me. And I think I can get used to it. Private jets. That's actually the jet I flew here on, private. Just kidding. But that's a possibility, guys. You know, that's kind of like what we're thinking about, you know, like at the top, like private airfare sounds pretty cool. So, so I want to leave you with this. Time's running out, guys. That according to Google, the average person lives till they're 78. And let's just say you're 50. Use your own age, figure it out for yourself. But if you're 50 and you're only going to live till you're 78, you have 28 summers left. You have 28 Christmases left, and I love Christmas. You have 28 birthdays left to celebrate with your loved ones. You have 28 years left. And I don't know about you guys, but these last 12 months flew by. Don't you want to live full time? This is what's possible through this opportunity. I mean, the greatest failure to me in life would be to get to the top of the mountain that you're climbing based on the current trajectory that you're on if you don't change anything today after this week. You get to the top of that mountain, and as you're looking out into the distance, across the mountains, you see another mountain in the distance. It's far away, but you see it very clearly. And on top of that mountain is a person, and the person looks familiar, and you realize that it's you. It's the person you could have become living the life you could have lived. And I'll pose the question I asked myself 9 years ago while staring at that hole in my shoe. If not now, then when? Are you going to let your dreams live or die? Thank you.
Hold on, stay here. So, wow, that's so good. Was anybody like a total mess when you saw his mom? And I still can hardly talk. I was like, oh God. I grabbed Gene's shirt. I'm like, that's why I sit by Gene. He's great. But that was so sweet. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that what it's all about? And that's so awesome. Fun side note, I did visit them in Napa in that cool rock star motorhome. But you ever seen those motorhomes? I'm laughing my head off because we're spending our children's inheritance, and they go off in the motorhomes, right? And those of us that are, they were like, Mom, Dad, go spend it. Don't worry about us. You go enjoy your lives. I say it to my parents all the time. But when you left, your income was $25,000 a month. That's what they needed, 500 agents, $25,000 a month. But when you got back a year later, was all the money gone? You spent the inheritance, was it $15,000 a month? Where was it a year later? And I don't know what he's going to say, but...
It was already at $67,000 a month.
Isn't that pretty cool? You can take a year off, travel the world, ski 50 days, and your income's only maintains at almost tripled. It's pretty awesome. AJ, great presentation. Thank you, man. It's very good.